From the News Channel 5 Network, this is SportsLine.
Hey there, SportsLine on your television. Steve Lehman here with you. Glad you are here with us on this Tuesday night on News Channel 5+. We got a big show ahead for you. Tony Formosa from Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway is here tonight. We're going to talk all about the race schedule for the upcoming 2016 season, which gets underway this Saturday out at Fairgrounds Speedway. So we will get to that coming up during the course of the show. But first, let's get to some things going on today. Big baseball game right next door, First Tennessee Park, the first ever college baseball game played at the now one-year-old ballpark. Vanderbilt and Belmont, the neighborhood rivalry coming downtown tonight. Vandy up 2-1 on Belmont in that ball game. Very interesting night so far over there. Gorgeous night for baseball, and those teams making a little bit of history downtown. And that's a game that for the city of Nashville, for the Sounds, for First Tennessee Park, they hope is the first of many college baseball games in the city of Nashville. Just a month ago, the Nashville Sports Council put in a bid, a 5-year bid to host the SEC baseball tournament at First Tennessee Park, which would start after next season, the 2017 season, go all the way to 2021. So they're hoping that this starts a trend where you bring in the metal bats and you bring in the college kids to play more baseball games. And what is just a great place to watch baseball. If you haven't been out there yet to watch the Sounds, definitely make it out this summer because it's a terrific environment. It's a great place to watch a game, good place to have fun with your friends as well, and they hope to bring in even more events there as that neighborhood continues to boom. Also tonight, you've got the Predators trying to wrap up a playoff berth yet again tonight after squandering the opportunity last night at home against the Avalanche. Tonight, another opportunity on the road in Dallas, and here's the scenario. The Preds need to win against the Stars anyway. Regulation, overtime, shootout, whatever. Just get a win, get the 2 points against the Stars, and then they need the Avalanche, who they couldn't beat last night, to lose at St. Louis in regulation. If that happens, the Preds clinch tonight in the 7th to last game of the season. Obviously, they're still in great position. Tons would have to happen for them to not get in, but the earlier you clinch, the better off you feel. You can have a few shorter shifts down the stretch of the season, and you can try to get ready and really gear your team up for the playoffs. So the Preds would love to clinch tonight, but need a couple things to happen. They are tied right now 1-1 in Dallas. Ryan Ellis had a shorthanded goal early on for the Preds, but Jamie Benn came back with a breakaway to knot things up 1-1. The Blues, by the way, up 1-0 on the Avalanche at this moment. Vanderbilt coaching search for a new basketball coach. One guy who it will not be in all likelihood, Will Wade, Nashville native and coach at VCU, agreeing to an 8-year contract extension at VCU. As we first reported earlier this morning, the school made it official this afternoon. So Will Wade on the bench at VCU through 2024. That is a long time out there when you think about it, but clearly wants to be there. Unlikely to be back here in his hometown for the Vanderbilt job, which has been open now for about 48 hours. It'll be interesting to see where that goes. Reportedly, there's some interest between Vanderbilt and Jeff Capel, but Jeff Capel also in talks with Georgia Tech at the moment. They have an open coaching job, so we'll see what happens there. And then on the football side of things, Jalen Ramsey, Nashville native, former BA star, and star at Florida State, had his pro day today with the Seminoles, and he was very impressive. Everybody that you heard that was at Florida State today said, this kid is fast, he's got fluid hips, he's versatile in the secondary, he can do everything that you want a defensive back in the NFL to do. And he had a bit of a swagger about him today, too. He stood up in front of the media afterwards when asked about the #1 pick and would he like to come home to Nashville, and said, sure, I want to be the #1 pick. That has always been the dream. That's what you want to do. But I don't want to be the #1 pick because it's in Nashville or because it's Tennessee. I want them to pick me because I'm the best guy in this draft. I'm the best player out here, and that's why they should pick me, not because it's home. So he's got the swagger worthy of a #1 pick, that is for sure. And then the last thing, we're going to talk a bunch of racing tonight. But one other racing thing today, Bristol Motor Speedway in town had a big get-together this afternoon for a lot of people, hyping up their season. They're going to have one of the biggest seasons, or frankly, they're calling it the biggest year ever at Bristol Motor Speedway. Of course, they have the Food City race, one of the longest sponsored races in all of NASCAR, coming up in just a couple of weeks. They have the night race later on this summer, and this year the Battle at Bristol. It's been a long time and the planning stages and talking, but finally it's here. Tennessee versus Virginia Tech on the football field in the middle of the Racing Coliseum at Bristol, September the 10th. So a big year over there at Bristol. They were certainly excited about that. And they've got the new scoreboard, the center-hung Jumbotron over there. They're calling it Colossus, which I'm interested to see. I've seen the one down there in Dallas at Jerry Jones Stadium. I'll be interested to see the one over in Bristol now as well. So a big year over there, a big year at Fairgrounds Speedway as well. We're joined tonight by Tony Formosa, the man who runs Fairgrounds Speedway. Tony, always good to see you. Glad to have you back here on SportsLine.
Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure to be on your show. Great show.
Thank you. Good to have you here. And we were just talking about big year over in Bristol. Huge year for the Fairgrounds Speedway as well. And you get started this weekend, Saturday night.
It is. This weekend, Saturday night, is our 59th, the opening race of our 59th season. And one more year and we'll be there 60 years. So the second oldest track in America, and one of the most fascinating things about our season this year is the people that we have pre-signed up. We have already signed up almost 75 rookies. That breaks all records going back 20 years. I don't think that there's anywhere near this many rookies that have signed up. So these are new guys that are coming to try out. 25 of them are on the High Banks 5/8 mile track, and then there's almost 50 of them on the quarter-mile track. So, you know, the number of drivers that we have signed up this year is, right now we have pre-registered 187 drivers in all 8 divisions. What's so weird about that is there's a lot of local guys that haven't even signed up yet, that just, you know, they actually don't even sign up. They just show up. So sure. I feel very comfortable saying that we're going to have over 200 race car drivers at the Fairgrounds Speedways this year. And that, to me, like I said, looking back in the record books, it looks to be most definitely the biggest season, the biggest car count that we've had in the history of the Fairgrounds Speedways in 59 years. So it's something that you won't want to miss.
Tony, I've talked to you for a few years now on this show about Fairgrounds Speedway and what's going on, and it seems like every year you've had good responses and it keeps growing year to year. But what makes this outpouring and these numbers so special to you right now?
Well, I'll be coming into my 6th year as promoter at the Fairgrounds Speedways, and short track racing is on its rise. You know, a lot of the super speedways and intermediate tracks are trying to find new ways to pull fan base in and whatnot, but we have a huge fan base, and we do different things. One of the things that are so outgoing, outrageous at the fairgrounds are we have 8 different divisions, and we have sponsors for each one of those divisions. This is the 3rd year in a row that we have had sponsors for each and every one of our divisions. So that means that people are looking at us, people are partnering up with us. We have tons and tons of marketing partners, the Tennessee Lottery, Coca-Cola. This is Hunter Sand and Gravel Night this coming Saturday night, April 2nd, and it's just going to be a great night for us. I can't wait myself to see all the competitors and whatnot, but you know, we've made this a family affair. It's a family event. We give away a lot of things, and there's a lot. Everyone has a chance to win something. Flat screen TVs, the famous money drop. We throw literally thousands of dollars in cash off of the roof of the Fairgrounds Speedways and into people's hands. And
make sure to look up and have your hands ready.
Well, one guy came with a net last year.
So, have a fishing net out there, yeah.
You know, in the the biggest thing, and I guess, is it still costs the same amount to get in. The general admission is only $10, same as it was in 1969. So that's pretty special right there.
It's a great family affair. And you talk about how cool the short track racing is and how it's making a comeback. I talked to Bubba Wallace earlier today, and he said that's where you learn. That's the toughest racing. And both him and Darrell Waltrip, who were at this event, said that to them is what makes Bristol so great, is the fact that it's such a short track. It really tests your perseverance. It tests your driving and in short spaces. You get that all the time out there at the fairgrounds.
That's what we're all about. We are short track racing, stock car racing at its best. And we have the quarter-mile track where you have, door to door, 3 wide racing on a little tight quarter-mile track, and then you have the 5/8 mile track, which is high banks with speeds of 130 miles an hour, and we normally don't start less than 30 to 35 cars. So if we'll sell you the whole ticket, but we'll sell you the whole seat, but all you need is the edge of it, because I tell you what, you want to see the people want to see action. That's what you get when you come there. Short track racing is contact, rubbing, racing, tempers. You want to see it. That's where it comes to the Fairgrounds Speedways. I guarantee you'll get your money's worth.
See the paint swapping on those cars. Those guys get after it, and then afterwards, who knows? You might see some tempers flying, maybe a helmet flying before the end of the night too.
I've seen a lot of things flying. I've seen wheels flying, helmets flying, fists flying, nose to nose, wheel to wheel, door to door, bumper to bumper, and that's what they like to see, is a lot of action. So if that's what you're looking for, the Fairgrounds Speedways is the place to be this Saturday night.
Absolutely true. 737-7767 is our number here on SportsLine. Tony Formosa from Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway is our guest. We got to take a break. We'll come back. We'll get you your phone calls. A couple guys waiting on. Mike and Jay, hang with us. We'll get you right after the break. Other lines there for you if you want to call in now. More Tony Formosa from Fairgrounds Speedway right after this.